Hey, fucking
What?
sorry.
What
Uh,
happened?
well, I sent you that invite last week, and I know you've been
Uh-huh.
sitting here, waiting to record this episode since February 3rd, and I feel
Uh-huh.
really bad that I just now logged in.
So you literally realize that I've been sitting here cock in hand for a week.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sorry about that. Uh,
Okay.
I sent the invite. I got distracted. I went to Michigan.
Let's take a real quick, to be honest. Sorry, guys. Last week, scheduling got away from us. Um, Paid gigs were happened. And last minute, we both realized, oops, there's a fuck em ups.
Yep,
And we did not do a show. But
I believe it was Friday morning when I
uh,
texted you talk to text in the car, yelling at the phone, I'm sorry. I
yeah.
fucked up. I'm sorry. Because it did. It just all of a sudden it was Friday morning and I was like, fuck, I gotta get out of the house. And got out of the house and made it about an hour from home and went there because I was like, well, maybe if I get up early enough on Sunday. And which I did. By the way, Michigan, why is it so dark all the time?
It's
It
too close to nothing. There's
I
no
was
sun.
so
Ever.
I was real close to the butt crack of the mitten of Michigan, and I left Sunday morning. It was so I got out of my hotel at 7:15 a.m. Sunday morning, and at 7:45 it was still moon, still moon.
It
There was
was still moon.
still moon, no sun.
That's
Like
not how
not like moon
people.
and sun where Eiffel towering, and being like, "Hey, fuck you, Earth, let's get it."
Well, my only problem is that the phrase "it was still moon" is
Still
not how
moon.
people
Thing. I don't know how
define
better
the
to describe
thing.
it. It was still moon.
Okay,
Just it
well,
was just all moon, always moon in Michigan. It was so moon all the time,
too so much moon.
so much moon. I couldn't understand why it was so moon, but it freaked me out for a little bit. But yeah, that's on me, guys. That's on old Uncle Stinky Pinky here.
Hey, it's to our international fan base, guys in Poland. I know we're kind of decent in the charts over in Poland, and I would like to apologize in Polish. I can't. I don't know how that would be done, but I would like to.
Hmm. Yeah, I'd like to do that as well. I'd like to apologize in German because we have a we're doing good in Germany, but I can't.
Oh, I bet you I could fake something.
Dusseldorf, Aachen, Frockens.
No, that is a mustard, and it's also a place.
It's yeah, the Dusseldorf and Aachen, Frocken mustard. It
No,
is
the Ogdenfrocken is total gibberish. Dusseldorf, however, is a place that makes good mustard.
total gibberish. That's me.
The Ogdenfrocken is nothing. That's
I
not a.
could not be more angry right now though, because you're sitting there in a tank top and I am in a fucking flannel shirt.
This window is open.
Yeah, we're hiding from the elements currently.
It's like 75.
Yeah, it's not here. It's which is fine. That's fine. Hey, but speaking of Michigan, Jackson, Michigan, Sanford, Michigan, super fun crowds. Thank you guys. I know I was hawking the podcast while I was up there, so ping. I hope you're listening. Also Midland, which is just a stone's throw from Sanford. What a rad little town. Um, that was a fun place to get a little day drunk and
You know what? Nothing against those lovely people. I'm trying to think, is there a bad place to get day drunk? I mean, as long as the place isn't on fire or conceivably the word rally is involved, I think that most places are okay to get day drunk at.
there was that bar in Wisconsin that Nicole and I went into, and there were swastikas in the tile on the floor.
Right. That is
That's a
that
bad.
would fall under the heading of rally.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, even when you go in there,
yeah.
uh,
That was. I mean, they were backwards, but they were still swastikas.
well, they just put them in upside down. They just
Yeah.
fucked it up. They made little
Yes.
compliments.
Some ignorant Nazi went, "Oopsie doodles." Well, too late now.
Do the rest of them that way too. And a lynching. What? What do we do?
What? You heard, Paw.
Mm.
Um, real quick news updates from the news desk.
Ooh.
I ate dinner before we did this.
So you're doing fish burps, aren't you? You said that salmon.
Oh yeah, yep.
God,
Oh,
you
and we
when
had
you belch, it looks like it causes you more pain than when Trump was elected. Like he's physical pain.
it many
I've
times.
never seen you go erp. It's always like, oh no.
I'm turning inside out most of the time.
When you belch, there's a seizing that happens in your gullet.
my, my, I have to ask forgiveness from the Lord usually when it gonna get the clergy involved. So from the news desk here
Oh
at
shit.
Zig and Larry,
Uh-huh.
um, we're gonna start with a new study is out. Small penises and fast cars, evidence for a psychological link.
You know what? I get it, which is why I'm very happy with my Elantra.
We made male participants believe that they had a relatively small or large penis by giving them false information about the average size of other men. They then rated sports cars as more desirable if they felt they had a small penis. Other trials in the experiment manipulated self esteem in different ways and measured ratings for other luxury products but found no connection. As men aged past 29, the effect of penis size on desire for sports cars grew stronger.
Really? I would have gone the other way.
I drive a
Oh,
Prius.
you drive a Prius. I got a Hyundai Elantra.
Yeah,
You know what? And I'm happy with it.
we're
I
fine.
don't. Yeah, I don't. I can use my crank as a weapon if I have to. If there's a random shooting at the Walmart, I'll think I'll be fine. I'll bludgeon man to death with my crank. But over 29, it got worse. I the older I get, the more I don't give a flying shit about anything. It's like, how big's your dick? I don't care. My heart doesn't work. You think I give a fuck if my dick's up? I don't even care that I could pass out at any moment due to lack of blood to my brain. I give a shit.
You
Call
think
your Miata.
I give a
Miata. What is this? I don't care.
yeah, I thought that was worth sharing that the joke now has scientific backing. Also, Montana is trying to pass legislation
Mhm.
to outlaw teaching of theories.
So when you
Yes,
told me that earlier over text, I made a stupid Joe Montana joke, as opposed to what I should have done, which is to say, what? How do you
right.
how do you poo poo
No one else.
theories?
So, there's critical race theory, and for whatever reason, the people that can't describe what that is because it doesn't exist really, um, are all upset. And so they think, well, we'll get them. Come on, Doug, let's show them. If they just outlaw the teaching of theories. But what they don't realize is that includes the theory of gravity, the theory of relativity, all of
The
physics.
entirety of the scientific method. The theory is a big chunk of that.
Uh-huh. But as Nicole pointed out, there's a certain section of our population that just wants to keep us all dumb, knocked up, and at war. So, and poor.
True. Yeah. Well, it is Montana too, but I mean, they're going to be upset when they realize I have a theory that if I fuck this sheep, it won't be able to
Yeah.
tell on me, as opposed to like it won't know what's happening.
It'll tell the other sheep.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's Montana. It's between that and Wyoming. There's only like 13 people that live there anyway.
yeah. It's 14 and a half.
Just one little person playing cowboy.
Yeah. Um, had some Ching Chang Jr. For dinner. It was delicious.
Nope.
That's all I got.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna let that sit. I'm gonna let everybody play choose your own adventure with that.
Google it. I'm not racist. That's what it's called. And you get it at the Asian market, which is exactly what the store is called here in Springfield. It's called Asian Market.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, it's not like Phil's grocery. It's literally just on the sign, Asian Market.
There's nothing weird about that. You can go to a place called the Italian Market,
Sure.
that has, salami and red sauce.
The Dago Deli.
See, now that's where you cross the line. I would prefer if those two places were across the street, I'd go into the Dago Deli
Uh-huh.
and let the Italian Market sit. I'm like, you know what? There's Nonas in there, but over here, there's guys dressed like me, and they're gonna smoke while I'm just gonna, get the best cut of pork. So I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
go in there. Yeah.
And they're gonna know which cut of pork you want. Yeah.
By smell, just by
Yeah.
smelling me.
Then I got you. There's some nice capicola.
Done. Correct.
That's my Italian. It's pretty good.
It's great.
I'm dying.
Spot on.
I'm not gonna make it through this episode.
Good.
What else did we what else do we want to talk about? Not just dude, has it been a weird week for you two? This has just been a weird
Define weird. I don't know.
everyone I've talked to, our buddy Andrew, Andrew Teedy,
TD.
my big Sasquatch buddy.
TD.
He was talking about it. My buddy Chris and I were talking about it. It just everyone's just had a weird week. I went in and blew up on my boss at the day job, and then in the middle of it, after I told him, I was like, "Why don't you understand? Follow the fucking breadcrumbs. I'm leaving for you to lead you to." I shouldn't have said that. I'm real sorry, boss. This has nothing to do with you. This is other outside forces. I would not normally get this upset because normally I don't care enough about this job to get upset. I am really sorry. I'm my apologies to you. And he was like, "It's all good. Haha, fist bump." And it was like, poor cat's terrified. I am so sorry. Oh boy. Hey, you want a hug? Is that appropriate? Should I hug you? You already seem terrified. Let's try a snuggle.
Let's embrace.
Let's try a
I want your chest on my chest with thin layers of cotton in betwixt.
He's a little dude, so like his head would be right here on my titties, and it's okay.
Like Lilliputian little or like me little?
He's like right here on me.
Great podcasting, Larry. He's right here.
There's a video element to this horseshit.
Hey, did you know that we also have a YouTube channel?
Nobody does. Nobody does, except for the people who actually watch it and go, "Hey, there was no video this week." Nope, the three of you are going to be real bummed out.
Zig and Larry Ignore Topic is a YouTube channel. Check it out, or just continue to ignore it. It's fine.
Or just listen to it. Also, I'll do my best with the sound. Zig has no microphone this week.
Yeah, there was an issue with that. I utilized the same headset, microphone, and earphones that I do for work, and there was an issue this week where I utilized them to express my disdain at the wall. I tossed them at a concrete wall, and they went, "Oops," and they don't work no more.
Yeah.
So
you and I, what day was that?
Tuesday.
Shit, that was my insanity moment as well.
Yeah.
And this week is weird for everybody. I think Mercantosh is in Gatorade or some shit.
Mercantosh is in Gatorade. I gotta quit drinking that shit.
Yeah, I'm real good at astrology.
You're trying something like Mercury is in retrograde. Is that what you were going for?
Is that what it is?
I don't know. I've never known. I was never in charge of knowing.
Even I think that's nonsense.
I'll tell you how my week is going. I'll tell you this.
Okay.
I have a great boss and a spectacular wife and a shit job. Today I, as I want to do, slept in, but worked from bed for quite a while. I took a nap in the hammock for quite a while, and then had the balls to request off 2 days in a row after the weekend, because I looked at my wife and I said, "You know what? We do this every once in a while." Actually, she did this first and she brought this up. She's like, "You know what? For our own mental health, because we both work from home, and since the pandemic, we literally only see each other, like just day in, day out. So she took herself to a hotel uh, last month, 2 months ago, and she just like did what she wanted to do, and she just pissed off. So I'm doing that in a week and a half. I'm just like, I'm going to get a little hotel 15 minutes from here, and I'm going to listen to local bands, and I'm going to eat fish on the beach, and I'm going to do literally nothing,
Attaboy.
which is going to be nice. But the fact that I looked at my boss and went, hey, I haven't done anything the whole day. I'm taking 2 naps. Can I have 2 days off? She's like, I don't care what you do. That's fine. Thank you.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, I like at the end of this month, Nicole's actually getting to come with me on the road. And so if I can, I'm gonna pick up a Friday night gig, but it's working out where I've got to be up in Minnesota, yeah, Minnesota, and it's a pretty big gig. I'm working with Larry Reeb, Uncle Lair is
Hi, Uncle Lair.
yeah, so it's Larry, it's you got double the Larry. We got Larry squared working. And Larry Reeb is a Chicago comic legend. I mean, that dude is, and he is one of the funniest motherfuckers on the planet. I gotten to work with him a couple times. I cannot wait to work with him again.
Nice.
In fact, the booker that I work with was like, "Hey, he asked for you. Are you available?" And I was like, yeah. But it turns out that on the way up, my buddy Scott, his band is on tour, and so they're playing about halfway between here and the gig on Saturday on a Friday night.
Nice.
So Nick and I are going to go and hang out and watch the Royal Hounds and hang out with Scott and have some drinks, and then Saturday go on up and do the show, and then we may call in Monday morning. That that would be the end of the month here. Yeah, we're looking like may call in on the 27th. We may try to be at work. We don't know. We're playing it by ear
Nice.
because I got the hey, just a reminder, you still suck at this job. And I went, yeah, I don't care. And you can't make me. I didn't know what quiet quitting actually was. Have
I've
you
been
heard
doing
the
it for
phrase?
years. It's easy.
Well,
It's
apparently
kind of like retiring, but you still collect benefits.
I I didn't realize that technically all quiet quitting is just doing exactly what you were hired for and no
Oh
more,
yeah,
no less. You fulfill your contractual obligation. You work the time that you are required to be there. If you need to leave, you use your benefit time. You do no more and no less than what you were hired to do. And I'm like, how is that? That's just doing your job. But apparently I'm quietly quitting this job. Um, but that's okay if we can start averaging what I've been averaging this past few shows. Um, and Papa may just be on the road full time. So
good for you. And take me with you. I mean, I don't eat much. I won't do anything. I won't actually help. I won't perform or even encourage you.
yeah,
I will mostly just be in the trunk of a Prius that's on close to 300,000 miles,
yes.
and just throw me corn nuts, pour some Fresca.
I'm not giving you corn nuts with your teeth.
Hey, good call.
Yeah, I'm looking out for you. You're gonna. What's that in the back? That's my pet. It eats cheese balls and Miller High Life. Is it okay? It hasn't been for years.
What's its name? He doesn't care.
Call him whatever.
Hmm?
Come here, boy. No,
No.
no, I don't think I will. I'm pretty okay back here. There is a fucking gnat.
There's some manner of dragon that keeps flying in front of your camera.
Huh?
It looks like a 2 pounder.
Hey, you know what? You know what helps you see dragons?
Why, what, Larry?
Well, if you smoke your favorite herb out of spliffsociety.org's.
Oh my goodness, is this show brought to you by those fellas?
Absolutely, it is.
The hell you say?
It has been for 100 and some episodes now.
To nobody's detriment.
We haven't hurt nor have we helped, and that's all I'm okay with. I'm okay with I have you helped? No, but I definitely haven't hurt, and
It's
that's
like putting a dollop of Vaseline in the middle of your forehead every morning for 10 years. It does nothing, but it doesn't hurt you.
yeah,
Just yeah.
doesn't hurt. And you know what also doesn't hurt? Smoking your favorite herb
My goodness.
through one of the rose petal cones, um, or through one of the lotus cones, or
We have toasted palm.
the classic toasted palm,
Nice.
that has no glue and no fillers,
And
no bullshit, Zig. There's no
nice.
bullshit. In fact, we're coming up on the anniversary of Hunter S. Thompson's death, and I think,
Shit, I gotta get the lights up.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you stick the lights up and then shoot them out.
I gotta launch a small box into the ocean.
Yes. And I think I'm just gonna find all the drugs I can and take them. So
Good.
if you want to have a smooth time of it and not, lick and cut those old fucking swishers
What are you doing?
like a child.
Come on.
Come on, you're better than that. I'm not, but you are.
Mm-hmm.
So let's head down. If you're here in
You know what a cigar should be? Grape flavored.
it should never be grape flavored.
No,
Why would you do that?
no.
To cover the flavor of shitty tobacco.
Correct.
Speaking of which, still haven't had a cigarette.
Nice.
I really wanted one the other night. I'll admit it. But you know what kept me from doing that?
Split Society?
Society.org kept me from smoking a cigarette. And mostly because Bradford just showed up, punched me in the dick, and then drove away. And I was like, thank you. Operant conditioning does work. So so that's not a service everybody gets, but
yeah.
because I haven't destroyed their company with these reads, I get special treatment. But yeah, if you're in Springfield, head over to Prairie State Hemp, get some Spliff Society, and check them out. Check out spliffsociety.org on the Instagram. And then when you go to their website, you head over to the YouTube channel, check out this sweet fucking killer hat that my dog's wearing from Spliff Society. They get all types of fun shit. So go over to the website, buy some stuff. Valentine's Day is coming up, and those rose petal cones make a great bouquet. In fact,
Does your broad like to party?
if she doesn't, she better. In fact, it just occurred to me that Spliff Society has a Valentine's pack.
Oh, nice.
So go check that out. Use promo code
Zig and Larry and all that.
at the chickadee checkout, and we'll see you at the movies.
If you use our promo code, we can promise you eternal salvation in heaven.
It's as good as Joel Osteen.
Nobody's called us on it yet.
It's as good as Joel Osteen's promise. We will not be using any of those funds to buy Zig a new headset.
No.
That's what his job's for.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Oh, hey. You know who George Wallace is, right?
Yeah, comedian. Is he? He was going to be hosting something, but I don't think I know who he is. Yes, but I'm not sure if he's like on anything currently.
His Twitter is delightfully batshit on purpose.
Okay.
It's not like he's like, oh, this will be great. It's not like he's doddering. He just posts the silliest shit, and it's fantastic. And this just popped up while we were talking, and this dragon is back. It's bullshit that they only make battle bots. I'd watch truce bots where robots roll in and negotiate a peace deal and whatnot. It cracks me up.
I mean, it's got to be easier than trying jokes out on the road. Just like throw it out to the ether. Like, what do you guys think? Is that something?
Is
Is
that
that
something?
something?
You only hear about Shakespeare in the park. When will there be Shakespeare near the park? Folks who ran out of steam trying to get to the park deserve Shakespeare too, and whatnot.
What about Tennessee Williams in a tree? I'll go out and see that.
It's just funny, because he went on this, for a long time he would end these, I'm gonna I hate to say something, I'm gonna uh, park in a whatever and drive on a drive, in a parkway or whatever, I
Why
don't
do
even,
you park in a driveway and drive in a parkway?
but he was like, I'm gonna do this. I don't even give a shit anymore. And it was just like all of his tweets were, I don't even give a shit anymore. And now it's all everything just ends with and whatnot. And I'm like, this is so delightfully stupid. And thank you, George Wallace, for being one of the funniest human beings. It was like Colin Quinn's Twitter account for a long time was just
Is he still alive?
Colin Quinn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lost that bet.
yeah,
It's
yeah. He's still
February 9th, right? Yeah, lost that bet
yeah.
officially yesterday. Son of a bitch.
That- and so does Artie Lang, which still just. I think Artie's dead, and no one told him yet.
Inconceivably, he's alive.
Man, that they honestly should be studying him and see what type of genetics he has, because he's
Him and the entirety of the Rolling Stones.
yes, yeah. Um, all right.
The secret to longevity is not having a nasal septum. Like that is the secret of a long, long life.
Ah, yes.
Remove
Smart.
that, you're fine. And a
Put a bunch
gallbladder, you don't need that either.
put a bunch of heroin in your holes.
Children, gather around.
It's now time for another lesson from Uncle Larry and Uncle Ziggy.
Put a bunch of heroin in your holes. How big's a bunch? I don't know. How big's a bunch of bananas? That big, I guess. I don't
Like
know.
that big. I don't know. That's a lot of heroin. That's
Yeah.
gonna be expensive, and you probably will only have to do it once. So
A pillowcase full of heroin. Put it in your holes.
put it all in your holes so that we can get across the border.
Why? Because you got to get to sleep.
We got to make these demons quiet
Hush a bye.
because they keep screaming at me when I'm just trying to visit a Chipotle.
I don't even want to order food. I just want to visit. Hey guys,
Hey, how's it going?
it's new.
Burrito or bowl? Hug? Get the fuck out.
Burrito involved. Just advice. What?
I'm sorry. And a smear of guac.
Just want to gab the shoot and gab and what?
A did you say a smear of guac? A schmear of guac. I brought in my own bagel.
A schmeckalapico?
A Schwitz of black bean. Oh, I've got the giggles now.
Good.
Yeah, at one point during dinner, I'm sitting there holding the fork in my. Oh, now you're doing. Now you're.
Yeah, I know I got one of your burps. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me put some more of this here shandy on top of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that belch hurt. Jesus Christ, getting old.
My eyes started getting heavy, and Nick was like, "Baby, are you awake?" And I'm like, "I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm boy. Oh God, I don't know. I'm gonna make it."
Getting old is just a series of like, well, here's a new pain. How long can I deal with that? Like, it's just like, is this gonna take me out? Man, that's
Is this a physical pain, or is this a way down deep inside pain?
You can't push down a major infarction. You just can't.
No, I can't walk this one off. Mostly because of the neuropathy. Oh,
You know what that means, and I'm giggling.
I don't need to know.
I know what the word means, but I'm just not sure what it means in this sentence.
In this context,
No,
nothing means anything. This show is about nothing.
promise to give you a D plus effort.
Yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of shows that mean nothing, I finally get to do my Front Row Network show, the Convince Me show.
Yeah.
I finally get to do it as a live debate game show.
Nice.
They're opening up, so that is going to be on the 16th. That's our first episode that we're recording, so
Phenomenal.
I'm pretty excited for it. It should be a lot of fun. What did I? What I'm sorry, I gotta look it up. What I said, I described it to Nicole. It's like, that's right. We're the Win Binstein's money of pointless nonsense.
Do you remember that game show? No, because you're under 30. So that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. That people our age still exist, and
Yeah, sometime after, before Jimmy Kimmel was Jimmy Kimmel, he fucked around on that show for money.
he did, he did. He was Binstein's sidekick somehow. That gives me hope that if that mediocre white dude can have a huge career, maybe this mediocre white dude can.
Hey, hey, he's very, very. No, no, you nailed it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think he'd argue either. You know,
No, he's fine.
yeah, he's doing okay. He got to finger Sarah Silverman for a while.
Mhm.
He he somehow he got to do the man show, and now when everyone's trying to cancel people, and they were like, "What about the man show?" He's like, "Yeah, I did that, and it was a thing that I did, and it was okay then. Probably wouldn't fly now. You're right.
No.
Anyway, Ziggy Saki, oi oi oi."
The juggies.
Oh, the Juggies.
Yeah.
They were what a perfect show for us at 19 years old. And now I look back at it and I go, I found a clip of it the other day, and I was like, this isn't good.
You kidding me? I'm gonna buy the entire box set after this.
Absolutely. I'm getting on Amazon. Fuck it. The boys need an education.
I might need to borrow your VCR because it ain't gonna be on Blu-ray, but you know.
No, no, it's gonna be on Laserdisc at best.
Mm.
Um, all right, Zig. Let's talk about medieval Europe.
Yes, no problem. It's kind of a jarring transition, but
I always
very good.
transitions. I've
It's
told you that
weird
before.
because, like, I was up Monday night or Tuesday night. Oh, Tuesday because it was the day that I broke my headset. I was up very, very late watching medieval shit on the TV about like different like weapons of war that were weird and different ways of boiling a human being alive. And I was like, yeah, I should probably stay up till 2:30 in the morning watching this.
Yeah,
This is information I
absolutely.
require.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't. Um, but medieval Europe, say places like France, Italy, the Swiss, um, they they had their own justice system back then.
Okay.
But they had judges, they had magistrates, they had people, they had court officials, um, and such like that. And they put people on trial, of course. But you know what else who else they put on trial, Zig?
Please tell me animals.
Pigs, rats, dogs,
Yes.
grasshoppers,
Grasshoppers? That's
snails, uh, mice, um, small frogs, pretty much everything. And they tried them for crimes against people, property, and God Almighty.
there has to be a shit ton of tongue in cheekery when people do this, and they're doing it because they can get money out of the government and it's a loophole. There has to be.
uh,
You can't be that fucking backwards. You just can't.
Let me read you the first case.
Shit.
Picture it, 1386.
The people versus.
Okay, I'm trying to.
Wait, yeah, roughly. You said medieval. I'm sorry, I blacked out for a second. What year are we talking?
1386.
Okay, how backwards were they? Okay, okay.
All right, so 1386. I've got my notebook, but I've also got the article pulled up, so I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm trying to scroll.
Explain
Uh,
yourself to me.
I want here's what the thing. I'm not going to do the whole guessing thing the entire time, but I want you to guess what the crime was when I get to it, which is
Okay,
the crime and the animal what committed said crime.
okay.
Okay. This this creature was sentenced to be maimed in the head and forelegs prior to being hung, but it was given a brand new suit for the occasion.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot to unpack. So the animal, the sentence was so killing it wasn't okay. They have to maim it, but specifically the head and the four legs.
Yes. The forelegs, like the front legs.
Oh, I understand that. FORE, I understand.
Yeah.
I just pronounce it weird. Then they're gonna give a brand new suit of clothes, and then they're gonna hang it
Uh-huh.
by the neck until dead.
Yes.
Well, I'm just gonna guess pig because that was the first thing you said.
Absolutely.
Okay. Using context clues, and the crime was. I'm just gonna go ahead and say witchcraft.
While a lot of the animal trials did involve these people going, pretty sure it's witchcraft. This one is not. This
Ah,
one,
okay.
this pig's crime was an evil propensity for eating infants on the street.
Oh, okay. Well, if Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome taught us nothing, is that pigs will eat anything.
Yeah, if
Which
anyone's
I think
watched Deadwood,
yeah, right. The Deadwood. I said Tombstone, but you're right, Deadwood. Yeah, that's what we're going for.
yep,
You want Ian McShane to be like, what was the guy's name? Wang Chang. What was the character's name? Wang, right?
I think it was Wang.
Is
Oh,
it?
I had it in my head, and I think it was Ching Chang Jr.
Excellent. But yeah, you can. So it had a propensity. So who's leaving infants on the street?
That's my first question. When I read that, I was like, no,
And if you're leaving your infant on the street, I'm guessing in 13, whatever, you don't want it anymore. So why can't a pig eat it?
right? It's 1386. Why can't a pig? You laid it out in the street.
And once you put your garbage on the curb, man, that's fair game. If one
Woo,
man's trash and such.
woo.
Whoa, thank you. Whoa. Who's
Yeah,
scared?
switching. Woo woo.
Swaging. Yeah.
That is my
Show. Yeah, I've watched that show probably 3 times all the way through. It's been years, but I might have watched it again. Um, so okay, so yeah, no, you put a baby on the street, that's fair game, baby.
it's fair game. That's right. That's free range baby. What happens happens.
Uh, One's oopsie mistake is tomorrow's bacon. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
but
that's
they hung it. They didn't just hit it with a fucking axe. They
no,
hung it
like just because first, no, you have to beat it with a
to punish it.
yeah. It's
You
got
have to
to
punish it so it learns and then kill it. Wait, what?
yeah, yeah. Bust its legs, punch it in the face several times, and then hang it by the neck. Well, do you know how hard it is, like to get a hold of a pig's neck because they don't really have one?
Oh, blissfully, no.
Where do they put the? I am confusion. I am confusion on this.
Well, I mean, maybe it's not like being hung like, like a human being where it snaps the neck. Maybe it's just like once you like hang something up in a tree and just leave it for several days, it will eventually
It
die.
will eventually die. That's what my papa always told me.
Just put it in the tree. Eventually, problem solved.
I
Just put some cotton in your ears and just try not to look that way.
just moon. It's just moon.
I'm having a very hard time not picturing this justice dealt out by a very heavily maked up Mel Brooks. Because in my brain, he's the guy that's doing this. It's like, oh yeah, it makes sense if he's doing it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill. I got you.
Yep. No, I know. This whole time I'm reading and I'm like, this reads like a Mel Brooks movie. So here's just to give you a little background, because I wanted to start with that. Um, they would have secular suits. Speaking of vermin, I'm gonna get. We're going
What
after it.
is it? It's flying around. It's not a moth. What the hell is it?
Like a fruit fly or something.
It's, it's
Which I
big.
know I'm not allowed to say that anymore, but it's what it is.
Great. A plus.
So they would try these animals in secular suits. So like
Pardon my ignorance. What the hell is a secular suit?
so if they had committed a crime against a human, like maimed or killed people.
Or
Um,
eating a baby that was left unattended.
it's also a non-religious. So secular suit would be like a non-religious accusation.
Oh, I see. Okay, excuse me. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And then they would also have, because the church was highly involved in most things back then, ecclesiastic cases against vermin for mostly grain-related crimes.
Grain.
Grain, yes, grain-related crimes. Like like if the rats be stealing the barley, we
Did
have to get
that pig eat all the corn? Yeah. The baby didn't fill it up, so it ate the corn. It's a fucking pig.
and that's the thing though. What they said in this article is they're like, no one really knows what this is for and why it's happened. Nobody's ever known why they've really done this. So the most exhaustive tone on the topic, authored by E.P. Evans, is the chronological list of the prosecution of animals from the 9th to the 20th century, which details 196 cases from 14 countries, according to the lawyer and legal historian Hampton L. Carson, whose The Trial of Animals and Insects described the final moments of the Sow of Falaise. This wide distribution of time and territory shows how persistent and prevalent the practice was, and corrects uh, corrects any notion of its being due to local passion or territorial superstition. The most numerous cases were in France. This is due to a more careful study of ancient records by French antiquarians than by those of other nations.
Well, seems like there should be a joke there. I'm guessing it's at the expense of the French, but I got nothing.
So, what they would do, Zig, with the vermin related ones.
Huh?
So, the vermin related ones, because vermin are not controlled in any way, shape, or form by humans. They would then bring the clergy in, and so um, the clergy would then just excommunicate all the vermin.
They can't be doing this seriously. Like it's just like, no, it's fine. I'll go in. I'll just excommunicate your rat problem. They can't actually be thinking that they're doing something.
They took it very seriously because they would have, and it really was, they would have the hangman. They would hire the actual hangman. The jailer would get paid, and the jailer would charge, like if they jailed a pig, he would charge the same amount as if you jailed a human. The judges, the magistrates, the whole thing, the whole shebang. They took it seriously.
Okay. Okay.
Next case.
Please tell me it's the grasshopper.
Picture it.
All right, Mel.
1457.
Hold on. This is literally 1457.
Yeah,
So
1457.
100 plus years in the future.
Yes,
So you would assume we've progressed a little bit.
we've progressed.
You would assume.
A sow with 6 piglets in tow turned to violence. They were caught and imprisoned.
against yet another baby in the middle of a French street.
The owner of the sow was charged with negligence, but it was really just more of a, hey man, watch your pig. Why'd you let this pig get out? It done went and did a horrible thing. I want you to guess.
Oh God. Okay.
What did the pig do?
Okay. So pig got out. Pig
With six babies in total.
6 babies. Pig and 6 piglets got out. We've already established that pigs are eating children in the street. So it can't be that. I mean, it could be, but not for the sake of storytelling. Pig gets out. It's got 6. It ate something. What do pigs do? No. It did some kind of defecation in the water supply.
No, it ate a 5-year-old child.
Seriously?
Yes.
God damn it! It's happening 120 years later. Your goddamn pigs are eating kids.
You goddamn pigs. You're letting this pig is back on the goddamn escalator.
You're serious? The big head motherfucking kid.
Jihan Martin was the child's name. They have the child's name. Jihan Martin done got
AKA feed.
He done got et by a sow.
Just lots of hogs? Nope. Just let him eat the neighbor boys. It was in the 1400s. I think that enough time has passed that we can laugh at this child being horribly eaten and destroyed by a pig, right?
Because you know that he's a bored French countryside child who's probably just like picking up rocks and throwing them at whatever he can throw them at.
Have we learned nothing from the trials of the 1300s? Fence your
You're losing your head.
And keep an eye on the fucking stupid children.
This is once again proving that if you do not learn from history, you are doomed to let your children be eaten by pigs.
100%. You got to keep your eyes on the simple kids.
I can't. It's hugging me. Sure, pal. You know his parents were just like, look, looks like we're going to get 2 birds with 1 stone, because when they kill that pig, give it to us.
This little piggy went for the jugular.
And then we can be the little...
This little piggy ate Tommy.
So it was charged with killing. There were witnesses. People came around to watch this pig just eat this child, apparently.
I seen it. What'd you do? Watched.
I watched. I was gonna get in the middle of that. That thing's big and mean.
That kid's a prick.
It threw rocks at my cat.
The simple neighbor boy? Yeah, no, you got hit by a pig. That's God's will. It's 14 something or other.
He just keeps putting his penis in the drinking water. He swirls it.
The only crime pigs can be against humans is eating their young.
So the cow was hung by the back legs until it died.
I told you, just put him in a tree.
Just put him in a tree.
After a while,
all that blood goes to the head, and
after a while, they just stop kicking. Yeah.
But this is the best.
6 babies.
This is the best part.
Well, did they allow the eaten child's brother to kill and eat the 6 babies? Because that's an eye for an eye right there.
The piglets were let go because they couldn't prove that they were involved in the murder, even though they were all covered in blood.
There was no evidence.
There was no evidence.
No evidence.
No definitive evidence.
They refused to make a statement. They wouldn't turn on their siblings.
I saw nothing. Saw nothing. So much screaming.
Did the grasshoppers eat kids too?
Yes. How did you know?
Keep an eye on your fucking children. I don't care what century you're in. There's pigs everywhere, and they will get you.
I'm afraid to go outside right now. I don't know.
Animals eating children. What's the leading cause of child death? Animals, domesticated animals. This collie just bit my kid's head off.
Have you ever thought about keeping your pig in a fence? What?
No, no. Harder for them to kill children that way.
We gotta thin the herd.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of food.
We get away with it. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than feeding them.
Picture it.
Picture.
1474.
Okay, we've gone forward in time a couple of decades. Very good, 2 or 3, whatever it is.
A cock was executed.
Roosters are eating kids.
I think this is it has to be a hen. They kept saying cock in this, and I'm like, were they that stupid in 1474 that they were just like, some of these roosters fuck some of these other roosters, and some of these roosters squirt out babies.
I can't see balls on any of them.
They squirt out real soft rocks that you can eat. But a cock was executed because it laid an egg, and there was a great debate on what was going to come out of that egg. What was that egg going to become? And they debated and they debated, and for fear of what it might be, apparently they had to kill the cock. They had to kill this fowl to stop the egg from becoming what they feared was either going to become Zig
breakfast or a chicken. One of the two things.
One of the or
breakfast or supper in 3 months.
A nice quiche. No, they were afraid it was going to become either a basilisk or a cockatrice.
Yeah, I could see where
logically.
I could see where you would be fearful of those two completely made up fucking mythical creatures. Why this one specific chicken?
There is no there's no record of that. It's just they have a record of putting this chicken on trial because the chicken, talking about witchcraft, they probably because they caught Doug fucking the chicken.
Okay.
And they're like, well, Doug's got a big dick, and it's probably going to turn into a giant snake or a wyvern of some variety. So, and Doug's a little touch. Remember, Doug almost got ate by that pig when he was about 5 years old.
Humanity is so.
Doug watched his little brother get eaten by a pig.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so this chicken, which may or may not have been female, lays an egg. That's where we're at. And for whatever reason, somebody gets a wild hair up their ass, and this egg, this one time, couldn't have been this chicken's first egg. Or probably several eggs in the past. It happens quite often. They decide that for whatever reason, this egg that's already in existence most likely will be a monster.
Yes.
And if it comes out, it's going to be most likely a monster the size of your thumb. So they think the best thing to do is to put the chicken on trial and kill it.
Yep.
They also hang this one from a tree. Until then.
I don't know.
It's not hard to kill a chicken. You need a rock. You just need a good swift boot, really. You need a cliff.
I don't have the information of how they murdered this chicken.
There's several ways. It's not terribly difficult.
I bet they choked it.
I'll give it to you, but don't do another one.
If you want to see that reaction, go to Zing Larry on YouTube. Here's my favorite part, though. I wanted to get to this part. My favorite part. Now we're going to talk about the vermin.
The ones that are just evil in the eyes of God.
Just the grasshoppers and locusts and rats and mice and other creatures, in other insects and creatures that man has no dominion over.
Can we just say nature?
Essentially nature. Yeah. So these vermin were punished with, and I told you, excommunication.
Right.
Because vermin are not the subject of human control. It cannot be seized and imprisoned. So they appealed to the clergy, and they would send a court. So the clergy was like, "Yeah, we'll send him to hell, I guess. I don't know. That'll learn him. We'll send these."
Seriously, for 14 coppers, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you what, I'll do it for 12 copper pieces and that bottle of wine, and 50 minutes with that 5-year-old that almost got eaten by a pig.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we're religion. We just want money. Whatever you need. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. You want me to cast a spell on your fucking mice? Done. Whatever.
But here's what they would actually send a court of. So they would set a trial date, Zig.
Of course, you have to. You can't just like fucking just ad hoc this. You need planning.
They would send a court official out with a scroll. They would go to approximately where the vermin hang out. They would undo the scroll, and then they would scream in the general direction of a pack of rats to give them their fucking court date.
Well, you can't just like post it. They can't read. You have
They
to
can't
tell
read.
them.
You got to yell at them.
Yeah.
So they just, I go to like the behind where we keep the barley and hops,
Yeah.
and just be like, hear ye, fucking rat face fucks. On February 9th at 9 a.m., you will show for your court date. If you do not, you will be held in contempt and be excommunicated by the church. Heresoever speaketh Magistrate Doug. Slap, and then they would give them 3 chances to show up to court.
And he walks out as his coin purse is clinking.
Chink, chink, chink.
I did it. No, yeah, we did it real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd give them 3 chances, so they would not show up to court on February 9th. So they would go back out and, as because you did not attend your court date as demanded, February 11th will be your next court date. And they would do this 3 times, and then they'd be like, I got nothing. And some drunk, probably fucking stoned ass priest would be like, all right. And they're like, well, we got to come watch you excommunicate these mice. And he's like, yeah, sure. All right. Dominus si Patris, and I don't know. Poof, poof, poof. You're going to hell, mice. Was that Latin? Yeah, that was sure.
Everything. I tell you what, I gotta go moisten a child's head so it gets into heaven. I can send your rats to hell today too. It's really not that big a part of my day.
So, Father, you think I could get a quick blessing? Sure. Ooh, plap, 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 plap. There you go.
Yep.
It's as effective as what I just did to these rats. Anyway, shalom. And it just out he goes. But here's part of the reason they did this, Sig. They didn't understand.
Shalom.
Thank you. It took a sec.
I was trying to hold it back like a burp, but I couldn't.
Mazel tov. What did you say? Don't worry about it.
Bless them all till we all get beschnicken.
So they did this because they didn't understand. They didn't understand nature. They didn't understand science. They didn't understand what pesticides were at that point.
Well, here's the thing. I understand the scientific method, but try it once. If it doesn't work, like, well, rats aren't listening. We got to try something else. Like what? I don't know, a bunch of cats, a stick, something like that, maybe.
Here was their pesticides, Zig. First, they'd try weasel ashes.
Weasel
ashes.
That's specific. They not actual weasels.
Yeah.
They barbecued marmots and kept the ashes.
Yep. So
you'd assume that there's some kind of like underground like faux weasel ash business, like those weasel ashes. Yeah, sure. Yeah. And they're just like torching like dogs. Like
just flop
totally,
pan a bunch of
ash.
ferrets.
100% weasel ash.
Just you need a bucket of weasel ash because you got a bad case of the rats.
How many weasels you got that you just like afford to be like, oh, a whole bunch of weasels. We got to burn them. Why? Because of the rats. Don't they? All right, we'll try it. Okay.
Well, that they were like, yeah, yeah, no, it's weasel ash, and they were just going to everybody's fireplace and scooping ashes out.
That's my point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weasel ash. Or here was their other pesticide. It was your cat's bathwater.
Here's the thing. I can kind of see where they're coming from.
Bathe the cat and throw the water at
It's
whatever.
got essence of cat,
Yeah.
and the ashes have essence of weasel. But if you kept the weasels alive,
Uh-huh. And
find the weasel guy.
here's the thing. You ever seen a wet cat? They're pissed.
Yeah.
That's why and I bet it worked. I bet the bathwater worked because I bet they got these cats all pissed off, like fucking wash this fucking cat. I'll get these rats. And the cat was like, and then they just fucking get the fuck out. And they threw it out, this angry cat, and the cat was just like, I'm gonna fuck something up right now. And some unsuspecting family of mice were like, well, let's go over here to what's that? Oh shit! And just slaughter a whole family. He's like, fuck you and your baths. Here's the best one though. The best rodent deterrent they had.
Okay, so if weasel ash doesn't work, which it won't,
Weasel ash doesn't work. You try bathing the cat.
you've dumped the cat and moistened the barley
And that doesn't
for,
work.
for your
Here's
next trick.
you you capture you find where the mice are or the rats.
Yes.
Um
Hold on. Excellent step one.
uh-huh.
Excellent step one.
Yep. You capture one.
Oh, okay.
You capture one, maybe two. And then you castrate them. And then you send them back to the pack as a message.
As a message.
Yeah. It's a warning.
You cut a rat's nuts up and you send them back. And these fuckers mean business.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we ain't playing no more, is we? You tell him.
Not only are we all going to hell and we smell like wet cat, but they cut Paul's nuts off.
Which the thing is, it would work. Not for the reason they think.
What?
If you castrate enough mice and rats, they can't make more mice and rats.
I understand that if you castrate all of the males, but like one or two ain't gonna do it.
But if you do like one or two and they're still around and you grab more and be like, I'll show you, and you get like you end up castrating like 40 or 50 of them.
Yeah, 40 or 50 probably. Yeah, it's the same as if you hit them all in the head with a fucking mallet. Like this is like if they're not around, they can't fucking make more rats.
Yeah. When I drop a brick on them, they don't tend to run. But I'm like, yes, of course this works. Of course it works. It's correlation without causation. It is. And I'm sure that some priest is just standing there eating like an apple, being like, what are you doing? I already excommunicated the little bastards. They're like, yeah, but
they're already going to hell. Trust me, they'll let them.
But they're still getting in Ma's flour bin. Huh. You try cutting their nuts off?
Can you imagine calling the orchid guy and just comes over with some pinking shears? It's like, I got you.
Don't worry about
it. It's going to be a long weekend, but I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to avert your eyes.
He walked downstairs. He's got one tied to a tiny chair.
I'm going to need a small bucket. I'm going to need a small bucket.
Some flour and some salt and pepper. I don't let any go to waste. But he's just got one large mouse tied to a tiny chair, just beating him. Be like, I'll tell you when we're done. I'll tell you when we're done. You go back to your family. You
don't know why I came here tonight. Don't burn me, man. Yeah, that got dark. That got dark for me too. Jesus Christ.
This cuts one of their ears off. Oh my god. Ugh. So that's we come from stupid people.
Well, at least it's much better now.
Yeah, that's why I brought up the whole science thing in Montana. It's much better now.
That's the saddest callback I've heard in a very long time.
Ooh, hmm. Stay in school, kids, or don't. It doesn't matter.
Actually, no, question school, kids.
Question school at every turn.
Yeah.
I did.
If they tell you that there's no such thing as theories or don't say gay, question the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they say there's no such thing as theories and don't say gay, you look them in the eye and go, I don't know, man, that sounds pretty gay.
Yeah, it sounds pretty gay.
And then you give them a snap, a high five, a wink, two finger guns, really confuse the piss out of them.
And then ask to emancipate yourself from your parents who sent you there.
And sashay away, baby. That's what I say. Go, baby, go. We live in a weird world. Weird world. Oh, it's a we've got. What'd you learn, Zig?
Oh God. Hold on.
Well,
Been fighting that 20 years. Okay.
God bless you.
Oh shit. Vamp.
Oh no. Well, now he's turning inside out. Oh God.
You know, there's probably a mute button.
Shit, there probably is, but oh, hey, he found it. So here we are. He's having an allergy attack of some variety, or his body has finally given out and he's going to die from sneezing. And that's oh, he's had a stroke. He has definitely had a stroke. Um, and okay, we're replacing the hat.
Welcome to Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve.
Oh shit. Hey, Mr. Clark.
Oh, Jesus. I don't think it's over.
What the fuck?
Well, I was doing that whole you don't need a septum, and then
Oh
that's
yeah.
what did I learn? That humanity is just as fucked up as I was envisioning. That just from the get go. Common sense has never been our greatest strength. Uh, there's 8 billion of us now, Larry. You know that?
That's too many.
It's twice as many as we can deal with. Uh, it's uh, it's too many. Let's see. I learned that the justice system is hysterical. It has been for 1,000 years.
Truth.
Yeah. A lot of it is kind of just based on magical spells, like what most humanity does. Like, I don't understand this magic. Yeah, there you go, pal. Good for you. Uh-huh. Might as well just put your hand over your heart, look at a fucking piece of cloth in the middle of the room, and pledge allegiance to it every day because that's the magical spell of you. I also learned that I don't have a joke for here. What'd you learn, bud?
I learned that the joke about penis size in sports cars is now true.
Yeah.
And that brings me comfort. I learned that while I'm better, and normally pretty great, I still can snap on someone who can hire and or fire me.
Good.
But turns out, it doesn't matter. So that's fine.
Very rarely. You really have to lose your brain, but it's doable. I've done it. I've done it to the nth degree.
And I learned that uh, that castrating mice is a viable option.
Not exactly a deterrent, but do it enough, you've eugeniced your way out of your problem.
Because like you're just reaching down and amongst the mice, you grab one, you go turn it over and go, "Yep, got one," and they all scatter. And he's like, that mouse is just looking at you like, "Yeah, fuck, just fucking kill me. I'll die a hero. I'm gonna do all I can to fight you." And then all this guy does is just takes out a little knife.
Nope, you get to sing the girl's part in opera now.
What? Yeah.
Yep.
And then he sends you back, and they're like, "Oh, we thought you were dead. I wish I was."
Deflator mouse. I should have said deflator mouse. God,
Fuck. Yeah, that would have been a good one.
would have been great.
That's that.
Actually, really hacky, but now I'm mad at myself.
I don't know, but it's a solid one. It's a solid one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Well,
You need to go eat a sandwich.
I do, yeah, very much, and that's just good advice for most people.
I was talking to the audience too. Hey,
Yeah.
we love you. Go eat a sandwich.